Ciao amici. Allora, Germany for Oktoberfest, Pamplona for the Running the Bulls, Venezia for Carnivale. These are a few of Europe's most popular festivals. In this episode, we visit a place that's known for its tulip festival and windmills.
Something I have always wanted to do is visit Holland during the Tulip Festival. And once I found out the season is only 5 to 6 weeks, I wanted to take advantage of it while we could.
Amsterdam is located in the country of the Netherlands.
We've been to Amsterdam before, but only in the airport. It's very orange.
I like Amsterdam because I like bikes.
The primary way to get around Amsterdam is on bike, which the kids love to bike, and they don't really get an opportunity to do it a lot in Italy because of kind of the roads around where we live. So they were so excited to bike all over Amsterdam, even though it was giving me a little bit of a heart attack with them in the road, but they did really well.
The main mode of transportation in Amsterdam is by bicycle.
Non treno, non macchina, bici.
Yeah, they have public transportation, but the easiest way to get around is by bike.
Surprisingly, no one in Amsterdam wears helmets when they bike, which only raised my anxiety and my stress level because we had to navigate through the city and make sure the kids were safe in between us.
When we travel, we always try to find a balance between what the adults want to do in sightseeing and something a little more active or hands-on for the kids.
When we visit a new city, we usually do one of two things, or both, to placate the kids. One of them is to see a zoo.
My favorite animal at the zoo are penguins.
The zoo in Amsterdam wasn't the best that we've been to, but it was still a little fun.
Yeah, I like to see the animals, but sometimes after I just see a bunch of animals, it gets boring for me.
The other thing we do when we visit a new city to keep the kids happy is visit a museum. And luckily, Amsterdam has a really cool science museum, the Nemo Science Museum.
I mean, we got to play little games and stuff. There's a lot of stuff you can do there.
The science museum was easy for me to understand because most of it was in English.
At the museum, we did science experiments.
When you think international cuisine, you usually think Italy with pasta and pizza, or France with pastries, Spain with ham. Nothing really comes to mind when you think about the Netherlands.
One of the most popular things to eat in Amsterdam is a stroopwafel.
Stroopwafel is basically like two very thin cookies in a press that are pressed together with caramel. And we went to a place where you can kind of build your own, so the kids really had a good time with that.
A good tip for traveling is if there's a long line outside of the place, it's probably pretty good.
We waited in a long line for these little waffle cookie thingies.
The waffle is good. Can we go back to Amsterdam?
As we were riding the ferry over, one of the locals mentioned the top of a building that has a swing on top, so we had to go check it out.
It was a pretty cool experience. You got to go in the building, take a few funny photos, have a few drinks, then go to the roof and look around at all of Amsterdam.
I didn't ride the swings because I was scared. And too small.
If you look down, it's scary. I'll tell you that. And my dad paid me $5, so I just did it.
I'm afraid of heights, but I still rode that giant swing on top of a building.
It was awesome. Wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. It was more just exhilarating. Tulip season in Holland goes from the beginning of April to about mid-May, and different flowers are in bloom all during those weeks, but when we went, it was when the tulips were kind of in full bloom, and it was gorgeous. Probably the most notable way to visit the tulips is at the Keukenhof Gardens, which was just unbelievable. I mean, we could have spent hours there just wandering around, and all the colors and the smells and the butterflies and the birds. It was just so gorgeous.
Holland has so many tulips.
Keukenhof is the garden of Europe.
The things that I enjoyed at the Tulip Festival were the park and the treats like the mini pancakes, ice cream, and apple strudel. I didn't really enjoy the main Tulip Festival itself.
Puffertjes are little Dutch pancakes that are served covered in butter and powdered sugar, so obviously delightful. But we were really impressed with the guys that were making them because they were flipping them really fast, and it was like a race. This trip was kind of planned at the last minute, but it was one of the, once in a lifetime things to see the tulips in bloom and be part of the festival, and it definitely did not disappoint. It was really awesome and left us energized to check out other festivals like Oktoberfest or St. Patrick's Day, those kind of things in their native countries. So hopefully we get to do that in the future.
Tazines.